Today you're going to hear 4 individual stories. 4 different walks of life. 4 different perspectives. 4 people with similar consequences from our own individual choices. Maybe sharing our stories can help influence and save the lives of another person.
Okay, it was my friend's going away party for the Army, and I decided to get a bottle of Jaeger to myself. And I was at the party. I drank the whole entire thing except for about 4 shots, which I gave away. And then supposedly, my one friend came up to me and asked me to go to the bars with her. Obviously, I don't have a fake ID, but we knew the bouncers. And so we went to which are all in like the same circle. And I remember showing up to Jack's, and I went up to like the top part of the bar over the balcony. And then supposedly we went to go to which is across the street, and it was during the winter, so it was really icy out. And I started running, and the last thing I remember is being up in the air, and then supposedly I fell and cracked my chin open, and I had to get 7 stitches. And then the police officer who's arrested me 3 times before showed up, and supposedly I tried to fight him. And then an ambulance showed up, and the only thing that I remember from the ambulance is the ambulance came, and they took me to the hospital. And when we got to the hospital, my dad told me that the cops said that I tried fighting 7 security guards, and it took 7 of them to hold me down. And then they asked my dad if I was schizophrenic because I was going crazy. Yeah, it was really bad. And then they ended up tying me to the bed. I don't know what they were doing. I have no clue, but all I know is I woke up 2 days later. I got a concussion from it. And I woke up in bed with stitches on my face, and I had no clue what happened. When I woke up 2 days later, I had no clue that I got arrested, and my dad told me that I should be expecting a court date in the mail.
I started smoking weed when I was 12. The reason why I started using it because I was stressed out and it had looked fun. First time I ever used was with my brother, and we was at the park, and we was just smoking, having fun, having a good time. Then we played basketball and did all that type of stuff. Second time I used with my friends, and we went to an abandoned church. Then we broke inside of the church and we started smoking, and that's how I got drunk for it. Why did I start using it? Because I was stressed out and it looked fun. When we got bored, I started using other drugs, such as pills. I didn't use anything else besides pills. I relapsed 3 times. The reason why I hate probation is because you gotta pee in a cup every week. You gotta pee in front of people, and it's just scary. It's just weird. The advice I'd give somebody on the same path as me is they should stop smoking and turn their life around. You can get probation, house arrest, drug court, jail. Smoking weed made me a different person. I just got bad, didn't care anymore. I went to school high every day. Because I was smoking, I had to repeat the grade.
I'm in drug court because I did drugs. I went to my doctors. They did a blood test on me, and then they sent it to treatment. So the next day I went home. I was high as hell, and they made me sign a bunch of papers. I didn't read them, and I ended up in drug court. I started using drugs because everyone else was doing it. It looked fun. Everyone else seemed happy. I'm not comfortable saying that, but I was on a lot of drugs. Good thing is all my fears go away. The bad thing is when I'm sober, they all come back and they triple. Yeah, I gotta drop in front of someone like all the time. I missed a couple drops, so now I'm on house arrest. There's a lot of consequences depending on what you do. I can't get my driver's license till I'm 18. You got a curfew. I mean, you get a curfew even though you're not on drug court, but you get in trouble if you don't follow your curfew in drug court. I feel I am not comfortable peeing in a cup in front of somebody. People are peer pressured because they want to be like everyone else. I never felt peer pressured. I just wanted to have fun. Yeah, I peer pressured people because it was fun. I just wanted to see them get high. I've relapsed 3 times. Nothing happened the first 2 times besides house arrest. Then I ran away and relapsed. Then I went to rehab.
I started using because I started off selling drugs. I kept using because it was fun and it just made things easier. I ended up in drug court because I kept running away from home and I got put on probation, and then I continued to run away from home and violate probation. The worst thing about being on probation is you have to pee in front of somebody. And like I was put on house arrest and eventually I was sent away to an inpatient rehab. The worst thing about rehab was being like really far away from my family, and I couldn't have my phone, I couldn't talk to my friends. I honestly don't feel that the fun that I had was worth everything I have to deal with now.
I don't think anybody uses drugs with the expectations of dying. It's not all fun and games. Bad things do happen. I hope you can learn from our story.